Hello everyone, my name is Amy from the Projector movement, and today I'm going to take you through the Ajna Center in Human Design. I think this is a very interesting time to be talking about the Ajna Center, because if we look at where we are in the world right now, you can really see how the Ajna Center is playing out. Now, I'm recording this in August 2021, and let's just say people are very divided in the world right now about a particular topic that is just front and center. And now, as we go through this video and this Ajna Center, I'm sure you'll be able to see how this is playing out and why it might be playing out through people's Ajna Center. So let's get into it. So the Ajna is an awareness center. So this is where we are aware of ourselves mentally. It is the home of beliefs, truths, ideas, opinions. It's where we conceptualize things. The Ajna makes sense of the things that come from our head center. Now, let's look at the shadow side of this Ajna center. So here, if we are in the shadow, we can be very rigid. We need to be right. We are very unaccepting of other people's ways of being, and we're unaccepting of other people's opinions or beliefs as well, which, as I just mentioned, this is raging in the world right now. And we are seeing that people are believing that their truth is the only truth. And it's the same on the other side of the fence, where people might be divided, that their truth is the only truth in this pandemic that is happening. And it's fascinating that we can't see as a collective that if we have our truth, then surely someone else has their truth as well. But I have a defined Ajna, so I'm not going to put my opinions out there too much on this, because I have not been invited to do so as a projector. So let's keep moving through the Ajna Center. Now, if you are in your high expression of this, it's the opposite to the shadow. It's that you are accepting of lots of different sides, and you are accepting of other people's truths. You understand when your opinion is your opinion, but you are also still really open-minded, and you can be firm in your opinion, but you can still have room and compassion and hold space for someone else's opinion and someone else's truth as well. So it's not a one-way street that you're going down here. You've got room for that traffic to flow, which is really beautiful. So if you are defined in your Ajna Center, you are here to help others facilitate this new knowledge. And I say facilitate, I definitely don't say force. So you're not here to force your knowledge onto someone else, but you're definitely here to facilitate this new knowledge. And usually that happens through yourself becoming an expert of sorts on a particular topic. You love diving into this particular topic. You are seeing lots of different sides, and then you are laying it out there for other people to kind of pick and choose what they'd like to take, and they get to land where they want to land. So with a defined Ajna, you can really tend to make sense of things that might be a little bit hard for others to understand at first. So it's like you take them through this processing unit that you have in your body, in your mind, and you can churn out the information in a way that others can see all of the sides, and it can be so much easier for someone else to take in. So it can be very helpful for you to have a practice that helps you out of your mind and into your body, whether that is meditation, for example, which might be a little bit harder if you have a defined Ajna. It can be harder to switch off. So maybe walking or stretching or exercise, whatever it might be that feels good for you and that gets you really grounded, is a great practice to have. And it's really great to note here as well, if you do have a defined ajna and it's connected to your throat, that, yeah, you are here to speak your mind. However, it's very important that you follow your strategy and authority here, because if you are speaking your mind when you either haven't been invited to, or you're not responding to an invitation to speak your mind, whatever it might be, things can get a little bit murky here, and you can get yourself into, well, I'll speak from experience. I've landed myself in trouble before by just speaking my mind without having been invited to do so. So it's really important to follow your strategy and authority if you've got the defined ajna connected to the defined throat. So what does it look like if you have got an undefined ajna? Well, I think this is really beautiful, actually, because you are here to take in the opinions of others in a really broad perspective, not in a fixed way. So don't feel like you have to cling on to a truth or cling on to a side. You can be this beautiful middle ground that is taking on the opinions of people that believe that their truth is the only truth, and then taking on kind of opinions from the other side as well, and kind of mashing them all together, and then feeling like, okay, where do I want to land with this? What do I actually think about this? So being able to separate your opinions and beliefs and truths from someone else is really helpful. And this might be a practice for you as well. So don't be afraid to literally practice with this. And if you find yourself in a conversation with an undefined ajna and people are really talking about, well, this is what I think, well, no, this is what I think, you can just be kind of observing this and watching and going, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. They both make sense. So where do I land with this? What can I do with this information? And I find that people with an undefined ajna can become really intellectual as well, because you've just got all of this information that you are taking in and not feeling like you have to land somewhere with it. And there's so much that you have access to when you are not so fixed and rigid in how you think. And this might be a lot to take in. So know that with an undefined ajna, what's meant to stick will stick, and the rest can kind of just fall to the wayside. So if you find yourself forgetting things and you'd really like to remember them, jot down the things that you really want to remember, and just know that everything else was maybe not meant to stick at that time. And the final thing I'll say for an undefined ajna is it's really great to let go of needing that mental certainty, needing to, believing that you have to make your mind up about something, that you have to go into something, you have to make a decision, because our decisions don't come from our minds, they come from our strategy and authority. But letting go of that need for mental certainty will be really great for you with the undefined ajna.